The latest news is good. There seems to be some change of heart in President Trump. He made some very positive statements I heard this morning about Prime Minister Modi, and also indicating that there could be a rapprochement and there could be an understanding on these issues. Of course, he is not very reliable that way because he comes up with different statements. And even when he takes a soft line, his advisors take a rather tough line saying that this is Modi's war and things like that. So it is still very uncertain. But I'm glad to see that we are not taking a path of abandoning US and going towards China and Russia. That was the impression that was created in the last few days. That was very unfortunate because India-US relations have been built up over a period of years. I've been part of it for a long time. 25 years we have been working on this. In fact, the crisis was even deeper at that time because of the nuclear tests. Even Clinton was very harsh towards India. But it took us 2 years to maintain it. So that's probably the situation is going to be. Immediately it is not going to change, particularly on the Russian oil issue, because he seems to be most concerned about that because he feels that we are feeding the Russia to fight against Ukraine and therefore peace to Ukraine comes through India. These are all far-fetched ideas, but at the same time he is using the harshest of words so far. So today there is some hope of some reconciliation. What it will be, we don't know. I think the most important issue for him is the Russian angle, that we have been supportive. But it's not true because during the war, throughout, we had maintained that we are on the side of peace. We are not on the side of either Russia or Ukraine. So he has no reason to feel that we are supporting Russia. Our relationship with Russia, as you know, is very deep and long-standing and time-tested. So the kind of euphoria that we saw when these three people met was a bit unusual because those two gentlemen are very sour and very silent and not very expressive. But Mr. Modi was very effusive and they also responded. He was holding Putin's hand and walking, and he spent some time in the car, etc. I don't know whether he did it deliberately, but his own style is like that. You know, in the early days, everybody accused him of embracing every leader, and so they're suggesting that he should keep away and so on. But it has now become accepted. Now almost every leader hugs him. Every leader hugs him and they see him. And so there was nothing unusual about it. But I think that was seen particularly in India, that this was a major shift in our policy. And I have been advocating against him because I've been saying that India-US relations are very old and it was always like a roller coaster ride, but the roller coaster always goes up once it comes down. So that was my expectation. But this demonstration of special attachment to Russia and China must have caused a tremor in US itself among the Americans, because for them these are evil figures. So to see Mr. Modi, friendly and jovial with them may not go very well in the United States. And that is why he had to react to that very seriously. But I knew always that this can be repaired. And it is necessary for both of us. It's not only for the US, but also for India. It will be useful to have a normal relations, which we can work upon and find solutions for them.
Our line from Russia.
Yes, that's our line anyway. So, and there's no justification for accusing us, because China buys more oil from Russia, European Union buys more oil from Russia. They buy, refined oil, Russian oil from us. So, how can you ever say that it should be stopped? It's part of the balancing of the world economy. In fact, President Biden had advised us to buy some oil from China to balance the prices. So these are all, the countries play these games, but they should not be taken as a drastic departure and we'll turn away and we'll all become socialistic or communistic. And that impression was wrong. And so I'm glad that things are coming back to normal. Could go wrong, but still we should rely on our old friends, particularly a democracy, rather than, however friendly the others may be. They are not democratic countries. So some issue or the other will arise. And China border issue is absolutely unbelievably in bad shape. And also the misunderstanding was that Mr. Wang Yi came here because of India-US. No, it was fixed long ago for the border talks. It's a routine border talks he came for. But because of the timing, everybody saw he has suddenly come to India. It was not. It was agreed 1 year ago. Similarly, SCO was not created for this purpose. SCO was announced 2 years ago. And in fact, the last SCO meeting at the ministerial level, we could not agree to the joint statement because Pakistan is a member of the SCO and they refused to use the word Pahalgam in the statement. But now at the high state level, Pahalgam is mentioned and terrorism has been deplored. So these things go on, and so we have to accept these things in international life. And we diplomats are there to resolve them rather than to create more trouble.